Okay, it being 6:30, I'll call the Board of Selectmen meeting to order. First order of business is going to be to approve the minutes. We have two sets. I'm going to do them separately because I have to abstain from voting on one of them because I wasn't present. The first one is for last week's meeting, Wednesday, March 3rd.
Make a motion to approve those minutes.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None, motion carries. And the second set are for Channy to sign. I will hand them down, but they're for yesterday's meeting, Tuesday, March 10th.
Make a motion to approve those.
Yep. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I abstain, motion carries. Hand that down for Channy to sign. Next, so that Amy, this is for tonight, right? Okay. I'm gonna let Amy go next so that she doesn't have to sit here all night. There was a question asked 2 or 3 weeks ago about explaining how the fund balance comes for the unreserved fund, and Amy, our business manager, is here to explain that.
So basically, our portion comes from the MS 535, which the auditor prepares for us, and then we submit that to the DRA after you guys review and approve it. So basically, bottom line, what it is taking the audit, it's all of the assets minus the liabilities, which we would then bring you to the unassigned fund balance. So this year, we had $639,634 left in it, which according to the DRA, they would always like you to have at least 5%. This being the first year in a long time, it being over the 5%. So it's actually not monies in the bank account. So it's not actually funds in the bank account. It's more of an accounting term. So it's just numbers showing.
Yeah, so there's not an account somewhere with $600 sitting in it that we can just use.
No.
Lindsay, because you asked the original question, does that answer?
Not at all.
Okay.
How did you end up with more assets at the end of the year? Where did that money come from?
If you take a look at the audit every year, I have copies upstairs now, so I have electronic copies. I can send it to you. Again, when the auditors come, I can give them our capital assets, our fund balance, everything that they ask for. They're coming in and do our audit. They prepare the MS 535. Here's a sheet right here. If you look at page 8,
At the end of the day, what you're telling me is $400,000 popped up out of nowhere. And I know that's not correct. I know that you've accounted for it. So where did $400,000
if you look
come
on
from?
page 8 on the balance sheet of the MS 535, it gives last year's assets and liabilities and this year's assets and liabilities.
Okay, so right here, due from other funds. The starting balance was $12,000. The ending balance was $866. What's other funds?
Well, we have other funds because we have due from accounts, which is basically from, could be the water account, could be the sewer account, could be the police detail funds. Those are all interchangeable within the budget.
So any of those funds could have been underspent, or in the case where the water department is, could have generated additional revenue that resulted in an additional $400,000.
Correct, nothing's been underspent though. All the accounts have a positive balance in them.
So did the water department do very well with revenues last year? Because that would fall under other funds.
I don't have the number off the top of my head, no, but I can send that.
I mean, ultimately, that's what I'm curious about. We should all be curious about that
And
question.
again, I can send you a copy of the audit as soon as it's done, because this one audit right here isn't completed yet.
The 2020.
Correct.
So you have.
But the 2019 and back is all completed, yes.
Yeah, I would definitely be curious to see what due from other funds, and I really I think again that the select board should also be questioning what are other funds? What is the breakdown of that, unless you know it, and then you can share that with us. But,
Well, it could be a number of factors. I mean, we have several accounts.
that do what? That raise interest? They're capital
Some
reserves?
accounts do raise interest, yes. We have special checking accounts for the police detail, the ambulance billing fund. There's 26 different accounts.
So any of those accounts could have money left into them at the end of the year that ultimately fall under due from other funds?
When we do transfers, yes, because we pay out of the general fund, and then sometimes like the ambulance billing, we will go ahead and pay out of the general fund, then we will bill the ambulance billing and then transfer those funds over.
Okay. I know that you know what you're talking about, Amy. I know that you, what concerns me is that we still don't have really an accurate accounting of where that money came from. And I'm sorry, but the auditors told us that this is the number, that's not a wonderfully acceptable answer.
Well, at least we did the audit, and we're not $750,000 in a deficit like you at the schools.
All right, all right, all right.
That's really
All right,
inappropriate.
all right,
Yeah.
please.
Well,
Really inappropriate.
All right,
We need to stop that.
all right,
Yeah.
both of you, both,
Totally off.
both of you, please.
Thank you.
Let's get this meeting back in order.
Hey, Lindsay, before you sit down,
Yes, sir.
to answer your question, the water and sewer department usually do very well. And every year at a public meeting, we transfer the remaining of their budget into the not unreserved fund.
We don't transfer the whole amount, because you don't always.
No, we don't.
But we do transfer monies into charter trust accounts. as well.
Right, and that's used, for capital improvements, like when Rick needs to spend, $100,000 on some pump, he has the money.
Here, I don't think that you've done anything fiscally inappropriate. But I do think that we should be able to account for the dollars. So that's where my concern is.
When our audit's complete, if the board wants me to, I can get the copy. It's sent to me electronically. I can send it to Carrie. She can put it on the website. It's public knowledge. So
It should definitely be posted, and I would greatly appreciate the copy of the.
I don't have any problem doing that.
I know.
Anytime that you have still questions, you can come up to the office and ask.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are you guys all set?
Yep, we're all set. You can go now, Amy. All right, moving on. Next in the stack here is a request to put out, advertise for a part-time water and sewer employee. This would be replacing the part-time person that was there that we moved to full-time when Steve left the full-time position to take the building inspector position. So what's the pleasure of the board on this?
I'll make a motion to advertise it. Doesn't mean we have to hire her, but we should advertise and see what we get.
your thoughts, Rick? I mean, obviously, I know you're,
Yes, I put a brief explanation there. You guys are quite aware of what's going to go on this spring. I haven't given you the a complete summer list. I'm still trying to search out what Dale's gonna do, so I try to stay within whatever projects he's gonna do, if we're gonna do a water main, whatever. So right now, presently, I do have a material list to go from Pump Road to Golamco Drive, but Dale tells me he's exploring the idea of paving from Scotland Road to the end of Piney Woods Road, of the pavement part. So we've been talking about maybe me switching that project, and I'm gonna come up with a material list and maybe get something together so we can put that out to bid, put an 8-inch water main down there and get those customers on that main while he's gonna do the pavement project there. I know you guys haven't seen his list yet, but that's what he's been telling me, so I'm gonna try to work around there. But other than that, the scheduled stuff that you guys know, we got the pole barn coming up. We have a leak detection survey by DES. We're gonna have to do, part of that agreement is, well, we have to fix the leaks that they find within a, reasonable period of time. So, we're gonna make sure that happens. We're still working on the design of the booster station. Unfortunately, hopefully this bid's right with the tank, that whatever we can make happen, we're gonna have to do some underground plumbing at that 5-way intersection. So I don't know where that stands, but obviously we're gonna need help there. And be honest with you, we're in desperate need. The state is putting pressure on me to do a complete flush of this system, and we have to do some major hydrant repair, just regular maintenance. So just that and regular routine maintenance, ground maintenance, and try to do some projects ahead of time. And we already know resurfacing of 119 Richmond Road is going to happen too. We have to lift those manholes. So that's just a multitude of reasons why we need that. I'm just requesting to replace the part-time person we had.
Rick, as you're well aware, I voted against this the last couple of times. That being said, I am in favor of advertising it, because you may not know as a board or the community, but you will here in just a little while, because it's on the agenda. Rick is going to be out for an extended time. He's having surgery. So, they're basically going to be down to 2 guys. Not saying that we're going to fill this position overnight, but hopefully we can get it so Rick doesn't have to rush back.
Right. I wasn't looking for, our project's going to be increasing gradually. So,
Yep.
if the board's so pleased, if we could start, with another couple of weeks, start advertising, see what comes in for, prospects. And if the right prospect comes in, jump on it. If not, try it again.
Well, if not, Rick, then we're gonna have to work like we have before, with the highway on some of these projects.
Yeah, and again, we'll continue to do that. We're flexible, but, again, I think you see we got a pretty, prosperous workload this summer. So, and I know Dale's got some things he wants to do too. So we'd like to get done as much as we possibly can, and we could use the help. So that's my opinion. Thank you.
Was there a second to Channing motion?
No. I'll second that.
All right, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? None, motion carries. Okay, that will be posted, and hopefully we get some good applicants on that. While we're talking about Rick, I pulled the other 3 things that all have to do with Rick out. As Jack just mentioned, Rick's gonna have surgery coming up here soon, and he's requesting to carry some of his PT over.
Will
so
you explain that to the public, please?
his personal time, because right now the town ordinance says that any employee has to use their personal time by the end of the fiscal year. No, not fiscal year. Yeah, fiscal year. But they can request for certain circumstances to carry that over into the following year to be used for things like surgery that they're going to miss time from work for. So we have in the past seen this a few times, not a lot. And I see no problem with that.
Make a motion to approve that.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None, motion carries. hopefully your surgery goes well and hopefully you heal quickly. I know from my father having 2 knee replacements, make sure you do everything the doctors tell you to. Don't mess around with that. Next, Rick has a request in here. Actually, it's from Carrie, I guess. Would the board like to move forward with applying for a USDA grant for the upgrade project to the sewer plant? Yes.
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 That's a general yes all the way around. And then we have the system impact study agreement that Eversource would like to do for the solar project plan to go in out at the sewer plant.
No. No, I thought this was out to the dump.
No, it's for
Oh, I thought you told me it was
the sewer plant.
sewer, okay, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
An impact study that Eversource would like to do, needs to do part of the project.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? None, motion carries. There's only room for 1 signature. Yeah, there's only room for 1 signature, so I'll sign that after. Next, we have a letter of support drafted. Last week, Margaret was in to speak on the USDA RDBG grant for the rail trail. And this is just a letter of support to mail in, to send in with that grant application, saying that we support the project. I just need a motion to sign this.
That was the $30,000
Correct.
with
Yeah.
no matching.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve that.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None, motion carries. Again, that only needs my signature, so I'll sign that after. Next, we got Carrie had emailed, last week we had a conversation about seeing if the state would do no parking signs down here by the new Dunkin' Donuts and gas station. And Carrie emailed them on it, and we got an email back from William Lambert, the traffic engineer for the New Hampshire DOT, and he said that while the DOT has the statutory authority to regulate highways, including parking regulations, we defer to the local governing body. This is because parking regulations for conditions described below generally impact local business operations. I would ask that the request be submitted formally to me from the Select Board with specific limits. I would then issue the regulation and have the signs posted. Please keep in mind that parking regulations related to businesses like this often require significant enforcement, especially in an area like Winchester where there are few alternatives for truck drivers to stop other than along the side of the road. So, how would the board like to move forward with this?
Well, I think that the request came in last week, but if we need it formal, I think the motion should be that we formally request from the state of New Hampshire to place no parking signs at any time, as you limit, from the intersection of Route 10, 11978, north to the bridge at Myrie Brook.
Is
I
there,
agree with that.
you second that?
Oh, okay, I didn't realize you made a motion, yeah.
Okay. And we want to have Carrie draft a letter to
Yes.
send to them?
Yeah, as formal as you can make it, Gary.
Right, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? None? Motion carries. Next, we got a letter from the planning board expressing concern about the numerous number of junkyards and what's going on with those. We do have Um, For instance, J&G's and Helix that we've already been in conversation with, well, not the select board, but the
Code enforcement.
code enforcement officer. And she's been working with them to try and rectify the problem. So hopefully that stays moving forward. But we will definitely have to get an update from the code enforcement officer and see what can be done to assist in that operation.
She, code enforcement officer actually has sent out several letters to, just not those two. She's working on many, pieces of property in town.
All right, next we have, excuse me, some recommendation, some property abatements. And with the recommendations from Avatar, they have looked at the abatement and the property. There's one here that they two here that they recommend denied on. Huh?
That was a horn.
Oh. And two that are recommended to be approved. The two that are recommended to be approved are, the first one's map 18, lot 1 on Ashwell Main Street, the amount of $2,097. And the second one is map 18, lot 20 on Ashwell Main Street, for the amount of $28.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Non-motion carries. And because we didn't mention them, I will entertain a motion to deny the two that were requested or recommended to deny.
I'll make a motion to deny those two.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Non-motion carries. Next in here, last week we had voted to reopen the town hall to the public this week, and it was brought up by a member of the public, and we put it on this week's agenda. Would the board like to reopen public comment during the selectmen meetings? How does the board feel on this?
You know how I feel about it? I think they should have the right to speak.
Is
I
that,
agree with that.
I'm in favor of it.
Should be a limit.
all right, well, we need a motion, because we made a motion to stop
Should we
it.
put a limit?
Huh?
Should we put a time limit on it?
It would be back to
Like
the normal
15 minutes?
15 minutes of public comment.
I'll go along with that.
All right, does somebody make a motion for that?
I'll make a motion to open up public comment for 15 minutes.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Non-motion carries. That's everything there. In the signature folder, in the financial folder, there's a request for payment out of the ambulance billing fund to Certified Ambulance Group in the amount of $711.54.
Make a motion to approve that.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? None. Motion carries.
Who made the original motion?
I did.
Thank you.
All right, and the only other thing we have on the agenda is, I had, I don't know the proper term to use, but I had chimed in on the school board meeting last week, and had a conversation with Lindsay during the meeting, and recommended that I feel like the board, the two boards, along with the moderators, both moderators and the school and town clerk, should have a organizational meeting for deliberative sessions and voting. So I wasn't sure if the entire board would like to be present, or just nominate two people to go to this organizational meeting, or how would the board like to handle that?
Well, I'm fine with everybody. I think we need to do more than two in case you need to vote. You know, 3
Yeah,
or the 5.
right. Yeah, no, I'm fine either way, 2 or 5, doesn't matter to me. So, Lindsay, did you guys talk about a date to have this organizational meeting at all? We did not. No. I do know we'd like to do it sooner rather than later. I don't know. I know trying to schedule something for this week might be tricky, but I was hoping at the latest maybe early next week.
It's not early next week, but we do have our next board meeting on March 18th, which is next Thursday. The select board could post a meeting and join us that way.
Yeah, we'd have to figure out a way to get the moderators and town clerk.
I can't make the 18th. just so you
What's
know.
that?
I cannot attend on the 18th, just so you know.
Okay.
No, I won't be
I don't
here.
know that it was the
On
school board's
vacation.
intent to, oh, I'm sorry, I apologize.
Yep, go ahead, Nancy. I just wanted you to know I wasn't going to be here for the 18th because I'm going to be in Florida.
I wish I was in Florida too. I don't know that it was the school board's intent to need all of us there for an organizational meeting, so I'm sure that a few of us are just as flexible to come to your meeting as well,
Yeah.
if that is more convenient.
I was thinking for the sake of making a Wednesday night go extra long, I was thinking maybe like a Monday night maybe. If we just have, and that's literally the only thing the only agenda thing is just organization for those dates, and we can get it done, over with, and get out of here.
Yep. For my schedule, the 15th and the 22nd are open.
Channy, when are you leaving?
I'm leaving the 12th, coming back on the 24th.
Channy can't make either of those, any of those dates, so.
Yeah, I think we're probably a little more flexible because we're not going to necessarily meet as a whole board for the meeting. So
Right.
if you guys want to pick a date,
Does
I
it-
will make myself available, and I'm sure that at least one other board member will be available.
All right, does the 15th, Monday, this coming Monday, the 15th work?
I have the broadband meeting on the 15th. I mean, I could always skip that, but I have that broadband meeting on that day.
What time is that at?
6:30 to 7:30 generally. What's that? I can't hear you.
It got moved to noon.
I thought that was the SWRPC.
Yeah, I think we were gonna have the meeting directly after that. We were gonna do both at the same time.
Okay, I'm working, so it doesn't matter then. Yeah, I could do the 15th.
Is that here or at the school, Ben?
Yeah, here would probably work best for the moderators, and,
Here would work best because right now the school board hasn't returned to the building yet. We're allowing some time before we go back to the building to make sure that it doesn't tax our staff in the evening.
right,
We're still Zooming.
Right. Well, and that's why I was thinking, because I know at least one of the moderators isn't going to be able to participate through Zoom. And so in person would be the only way he could participate. So I think it would just be easier to do it here. Do we want to stay with 6:30? 6:30 seems like a pretty decent meeting time. Does that work for you guys?
Yep.
All right, so we'll have Carrie post that because we're going to have more than 2 members present. So, and just advertise it as a organizational meeting for both deliberative sessions and voting day. And Carrie, can you reach out to them, to Dennis? And Lindsay, do you want to just have Carrie reach out to Henry for you?
I don't mind, I'll just do it, it's fine. Yeah.
Okay, I just figured dedicate somebody to make sure it all, that way we don't have the same thing that happened last time. So, yeah, we'll do that. That's taken care of.
So it's Monday, the 15th at 6:30.
Yep,
Okay.
yep. And that is all that's on the agenda and all in the folder, and I do not personally have anything else. Does anybody else have anything?
Yeah, I have one thing. Rick, I know you've probably seen it, but driving up 119 here, that work was done last summer, you know, those front yards there from Union Street up look like gravel pits. Are we gonna address that to the citizens here? Or? I don't know how you left it with the contractor.
I'm aware of it. Well, there was only $800 left in retainage to clean that up, but I am aware from Union Street, probably up to, 160, it's,
Yeah.
that all that gravel got spread out on those properties, so. Yeah, we'll, obviously when things dry out,
Yeah.
I will touch out, Tommy Hall told me he would come back and look at it, because about this, the seeding needed to be, if it needed to be reseeded and everything, so as soon as it gets dry, we can take a look at it, I'll give him a call and see what he thinks.
Thank you.
But it will be taken care of one way or the other.
All right, thanks.
We won't leave it like that.
Anybody else have anything?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to have this building open 5 days a week, 9 hours a day, from 7:30 to 4:30.
Well, 9 hours a day.
Well, I was thinking if we split the start time and a half-hour lunch and they alternate lunch, that gives 9 hours. If they each work 8. Unless somebody else wants, if you want to go 8.5 and have them,
Okay. So, I mean, we have 2 employees that work in town hall that are salary positions. So, the extra hour here or there, they can come and go, that's not a big deal. But, splitting I don't know how you'd split it with, like Margaret's position, land use, how.
well, as long as somebody was here is what I was thinking,
Yeah. Because we're not gonna pay them overtime, and
No,
we
no.
still only want 40 hours.
Yes. No, I'm saying somebody comes in at 7:30 and works till 4, and somebody comes in at 8 and works till 4:30, and they each take a half-hour lunch. Or if you want to do 7:30 to 4, or 8 to 4:30, and not,
I think the logistics would be better to 8 to 4:30, wouldn't it?
I just was thinking 9 hours. But
No,
that's
and
fine.
I agree with you. I mean, I like the idea, because you have 9 hours work and you're only paying for 8. But I just don't know how it would work. Do you have any thoughts on that, Ben?
Well, I'll still express the same concern I had last week. Is I'm not against it. I'll make that clear right off the bat. I'm definitely not against the idea, but before I'm comfortable making a motion to open the building more hours on any given days, I'd like to sit down with the town clerk and have a conversation to try to get to, so that everybody will be on the same page, so that we can have the town clerk's office open, possibly open those same hours. Because 90% of the people that come into town hall to do business are going to the town clerk, and opening these offices up more hours a day, but if that office still closes at noon, it's really not benefiting
Well,
anybody.
we talked about it last week. Is this gonna be like the housing standards ordinance, kick the can down the road for months and never do anything, Ben?
No, it's not, but we have no control over that office.
I didn't say, I'm not talking
We can
about
open this
control.
building 24/7.
I get that, but when are we gonna have the conversation then?
It was
You know-
supposed to be discussed tonight as to when we would want to sit down and have the conversation.
Yeah, with the housing standard ordinance, we had how many work sessions and went on for months and never did anything? That's exactly what'll happen with this. So,
Well, I guess the question I have right now, Carrie or Rick, I guess, could answer this. The deputy town clerk, tax collector, what's her hours on Friday? Not once a week, but her 4 hours, because I know town hall closes at 1:30, but I know she stays later.
Right, till 5,
Oh, she does?
Yeah.
So she's here anyways.
right.
All right, so, I mean, that isn't a problem then, right?
Oh, you go 8 to 5.
Are the town clerk's hours posted till 5?
No, because
No.
the town hall closes at 1:30, so that's when they close up. But if the town hall, if, there's gonna be people upstairs, then there's no reason to close up.
You're right. And I don't disagree, but where we don't set the hours for that department, so before we just assume that that department's hours are gonna change to mirror these hours, I'd like to sit down and have a conversation. That's all I'm requesting, but if you guys wanna vote, you can vote.
Well, then, can we no, Channing, you're not gonna be here next week. I was gonna ask if the town clerk could come in next week.
What would be better was open up 8 to 5, 5 days a week. What's wrong with that? I mean, that's
Well,
the same
8 to 5, that would give you an hour lunch.
Yeah. So they don't take an hour. These girls never take an hour.
well, no, but we don't wanna,
We have to-
force them to.
We have to offer them the
take
hour.
an
We have to give them the hour lunch break.
All right.
8 to 4:30, or...
Well, I'll change my motion to 8 to 4:30 if that works, Channing, that's your call.
Be in favor of that.
So,
Can
are
I
you
just-
seconding that, Jenny?
Jim's motion, yes.
Okay, so right now the motion is Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:30?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, what we can do, Ben, is because we have a full board this week, we can vote on this motion, because it's been motion made and seconded. Next week, have the town clerk come in, and we can talk about what he wants to do with his hours, the hours of that office. And that's actually be up to him, so we don't need a motion,
No.
because Shannon's not gonna be here anyways.
So, my opinion on this is, and I know it might be complicated, but I honestly think 8 to 4:30 might be tough for some people. Like, I personally work 8 to 4:30. And I honestly think there should be staggered hours. And if you look at Swansea and Hinsdale, their hours are kind of all over the place. They have early days, they have late days. And I think that we should have more flexible hours, have some days where we open earlier and some days where we open later, or stay open later.
Well, that's what we currently have. We're open at 7 a.m.
Right.
And that works out very well.
But we don't have any late days. I would honestly be in favor of having, some days we open at 7:30, and then some days we open a little later and stay open a little bit later to accommodate the public.
Which
I
I
mean,
agree.
Which is Jim's department, which needs to have a conversation with Jim.
Exactly. But I mean, like, I'll just say right here, Swansea, They're open Thursday at 8:30 to 5, Friday 7:30 to 4, Monday 9:30 to 6, Tuesday 8:30 to 5, and Wednesday 8:30 to 5. So they've got some early days and they've got some late days. Just
Right.
having it 8:30 to 5, or 8 to 4:30 during, during the week is tough for a lot of people most people work the same hours all week long. So I think we should
Now, are
have,
you talking about up here, or are you talking about
The
downstairs?
town clerk, you're talking the town clerk there, right?
no, Swansea is, their town hall hours are varied. Now, Hinsdale,
And their town clerk is open the same hours as their town hall.
they're 7:30 to 4, except Tuesday, they're 7:30 to 6. So,
Yeah, no, I agree that later in the evening or early in the morning is what works for a majority of the population, because anybody that's working can't get in here to do their business they need to do because they're working.
right.
But at the same time, like I said, I would be willing to bet without counting people that 90% of the population that does business in the town hall does it with the town clerk's office. And that's the one set of hours that we don't mandate. So I'd feel more comfortable having a conversation with the town clerk about it first, but the motion's been made and seconded. Is there any other discussion on it?
Well, Gloria brings up a good point about those hours and, so that, it'd be more handy for the public, especially, at 6 o'clock tonight. But I'm not sure, I'd like to, this is the first time we've talked about those, staggering in hours. So I'm not, what's Hensdale do? Are they straightforward, uniformed?
No, well, Hinsdale, all I have is Hinsdale town clerk hours. Thursday, 7:30 to 4, they're closed on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they're open Monday, 7:30 to 4, Tuesday, 7:30 to 6, and Wednesday, 7:30 to 4. And that's just the town clerk, I don't have the town hall
Yeah.
hours. So,
They're only 4 days they're open?
yeah,
Well, I thought originally it was supposed to be a Wednesday night.
That's what the original, when the town voted to make the deputy town clerk and tax collector full-time, it was presented to be one Wednesday late evening and possibly every other Saturday, but it never happened because at that point, the board that was in place didn't want one person down there alone on a Saturday or late at night by themselves.
so actually, I'm just looking at the town hall hours for Hinsdale. They're all over the place depending upon the department. They are literally all over the place. Some departments are closed on other days, their hours are staggered. Hinsdale's hours are just a mess. They're everywhere.
Is there any other discussion on that?
What do you guys think about doing something like that?
Yeah, I mean, we gotta have a discussion with Jim, so I mean, I guess the ball's in his court.
Well, yes, it is.
Well, the ball's, it's not really his court, our court. We're sharing a court. And I just feel like if we work together on this, we should be able to come to a reasonable solution to it.
I agree 100% and with James' thinking, because we've talked about this before, Ben, that, people get paid on, Thursday night or, Friday, and there's probably 95% of the people wait to the last moment to register a vehicle. They don't do it the first of the month, they do it on the 31st. So that's, having that extra option for the public to, full day on Friday is what we're looking for, basically. but having some options later in the middle of the week also would be nice to look at.
Yeah, which tells me we definitely need to have more conversations before we call a vote.
I didn't realize Swansea and Hinsdale did that. Do you?
No, I mean, I've never had any need to go to those.
Do you still want to move forward with your motion, or do you want to table it?
I'll
Withdraw your
table it.
motion? Yeah.
Might as well kick it down the road a few more weeks like everything else, man.
Well, you'll have to withdraw your,
I'll withdraw my motion.
That sounds better.
You know, Just
Right.
getting used to it.
Just,
Channy, when you coming back?
24th.
All right. What day is that?
It's a
Get the
Wednesday.
calendar right there.
It's a Wednesday? All right, are you gonna be here for the meeting on?
I'm gonna try to be, depends on the flights.
All right. Well, maybe you can give us a call and let us know. Maybe Kerry can set it up so to have Jim in there that night.
Okay. I just didn't talk to Jim.
That way we can get it done and over with.
Yeah.
No, we don't need to be individually going down talking to Jim.
No, I said, we should have him in
Yeah,
here talking.
yeah, okay. I thought you said I'll go down and talk to Jim.
No.
Okay. All right, anything else from the board?
Carrie, did you get a chance, by any chance, talk to Barry about those chains after last week or not?
No, I reached out to him and I did not hear back from him.
Okay,
About what?
the chains.
The tire chains for
tire
the
chains.
ambulance, the drop chains.
Yeah, that's all I have.
All right, it wasn't posted because we just voted on it tonight, so the public comment will start next week when we have a chance to post it. So with nothing else, I will entertain a motion to go into non-public under RSA 91A32, little C and E. That's it, right? C and E?
Yes.
Yeah.
Make a motion to go into non-public.
Second.
Roll call, Jack Marish.
Aye.
James Rokes.
Aye.
Herb Stevens.
Aye.
Gloria Lustek.
Aye.
Ben Klansky, aye. We are now in non-public, and I do not foresee us having any other business.